city election candidate interviews. Hi, I'm Larry Hembry, publisher of the Loogootee Tribune, and I'm your host, and I'll ask each candidate 10 questions. So let's get started. Here is mayoral candidate question number 1. Why do you want to be mayor of Loogootee?
Why do I want to be mayor of Loogootee? Well, originally there were 2 reasons that I wanted to be mayor. The first was that I started attending city council meetings, and I attended every one for about a year, and it didn't take me very long to figure out that I didn't approve of some of the decisions that were being made. Most of it was about our utility bills, our water and sewer bills. They basically tripled, and I just wanted to know why. And I didn't like some of the answers I got. And then a few months later, a group approached me and asked me to run for mayor. And I said, no, I don't want to. I've been retired for 12 years, and I really don't want to go back to work. But they were very convincing, so I had 2 reasons. I had personal reasons. I wanted some better answers, and they were very convincing, so I did finally agree to run, and I found out that it was a position that I liked, so I ran again, and now I'm running for a 3rd term.
Question 2. What qualifies you to be mayor of Loogootee?
I believe what qualifies me is my life experience. My first job, right out of high school, I worked for a company that I dealt with customers, and I had to talk with the customers, and if they had a complaint, find out what the problem was, and then try to solve that problem. My second job was with National Gypsum Company, and I stayed there 35 years. I retired in 1990, as I said earlier. I had the good fortune to have several different positions when I worked for National Gypsum Company, and they seemed to be with increasing amounts of responsibility, and it gave me a great opportunity to learn how business and industry in the world operates. I felt that I feel that it was all very challenging, and I had an opportunity to grow, and I believe that that has prepared me very well for the position of being mayor. Being mayor is kind of like being in business. You have to keep growing, or you're going to get left behind, and that's exactly what I have tried to do to continue to grow the city of Loogootee.
Question 3. What distinguishes you from other candidates?
Well, again, I believe that my life experience is what distinguishes me from the other candidates. I believe I have had a lot of very positive experiences in my lifetime, and they have stood me very well in the position of mayor. And I think my preparation is the work that I've done, the life that I've lived, and I believe I'm well suited for this job, and I really enjoy it.
Question 4. What do you feel is the biggest problem Loogootee faces, and if elected, how do you plan to handle this situation?
I feel the biggest problem facing Loogootee right now is the 100 jobs that have been lost at Perfect Fit. That was a tremendous loss to the city, and when Mike Carney called me from Vincennes and expressed an interest in either buying the building or reopening it, starting production there again, I stayed right on top of that, and Tim Kinder and I, the executive director of the Martin County Alliance, have visited or had meetings with Mike Carney at least once a month ever since that first call. And we have introduced him to a lot of people who can help in this situation. Mike says that he doesn't have enough production right now to keep the factory running 5 days a week and put all those people to work. So we're trying to negotiate more contracts for him, or at least introduce him to the people where he can make those contracts and get more work and get that factory open again.
Question 5. How do you plan to improve or maintain Loogootee?
Well, as I said earlier, you have to continue to improve, or you're going to get behind. And some of the things that have been done, of course, are the Larkin building, the downtown building renovations, the surface water project, the sidewalk project, and many other projects that I've worked on, and all these are very obvious. There's a lot of things that are not obvious, and when people make statements that they want to bring more jobs to Loogootee, that's a lot more difficult than it sounds, because just like the deal with Mike Carney and the Perfect Fit building, there were at one time 400 people worked in that factory. So obviously there could be a lot more jobs there than just that 100. So hopefully we can get enough work for Mike, get that factory reopened, and not only bring that 100 people back, but maybe even get 200 or 300 jobs in there, and that would be a huge boost. Another thing that's happening in the area is the Westgate at Crane Tech Park. I don't think it's any secret that the biggest economic development in southwestern Indiana is taking place up there. And even though some of the people that have been hired don't work in the tech park, they are, the tech park is directly responsible for some of the contracts that the people, contractors have. Some of them are working on the base, some of them work at Bedford in the facilities at Bedford, and some of them do in fact work in the tech park. And we are looking at a huge increase in what's going on up there right away. We've got a building called the Academy that will bring a lot of people in, so that will be a big thing. Employment is always a big issue, and to just say I'm going to bring more jobs to Loogootee is oversimplifying the problem. It's really difficult. Every city out there is trying to get those jobs, and you have to really be there at the right place at the right time to be able to capture some of those jobs. And southwestern Indiana is, we're looking real good right now. The tech park will definitely be the biggest employer around in the next few years.
Question 6. How do you plan to deal with the ever-shrinking budget?
The ever-shrinking budget is a problem, and part of the problem is that we're getting information from people who are supposed to know, and the information they give us sometimes is very sketchy, and sometimes it's even wrong. They don't know exactly what's going to happen, and we certainly don't know. But what you have to do if you get less money is that you have to cut programs somewhere. We've got one program we're looking at right now that costs us $80,000 a year, and that's our dispatcher program. Well, the Sheriff's Department is already providing that service for all the citizens of Martin County, except about a square mile here on the Davies County line, and it's my feeling that they could take most, if not all, of that dispatch responsibility and save ourselves a lot of money. But there are a lot of wrinkles to be ironed out, and we're working on it.
Question 7. Do you currently have any plans to bring more business into Loogootee?
That's probably the toughest question here, but the fact of the matter is that I have made some contacts recently. I went to the Crane Industry Days program at French Lick on March the 28th and 29th, and that was a perfect opportunity to network with all the contractors who work at Crane. There were 275 people at that gathering from 33 states outside of the state of Indiana, and I was fortunate enough, I did make contact with 2 separate businesses who have contracts with Crane, but they take the work to New York. they, after I talked with them and talked with them about coming to Loogootee and maybe being able to find a facility that they could put their business in, they became interested, and I've put those people in contact with Tim Kender of the Alliance, and we're working on those two contacts right now. So it's really hard to, as I said before, it's really hard to bring in new jobs, but you have to be there all the time to be successful.
And our last mayoral candidate question, question 8, anything else the voters need to know about you?
Yes, there is. I take great exception to the fact that some people consider the position of mayor of the city of Loogootee as a part-time job. And I work hard, I work a lot of hours, and I know that you cannot do it on a part-time basis. You can't just do the paperwork that comes across your desk there. There are a lot of phone calls to be made. There are people who want to talk with the mayor. You have to be here at the appropriate time, and I guarantee you they won't call you back if you don't take their phone. So there's a lot to be done. It gets into evening hours, night hours. I have at least 3 meetings every week at night. So I take exception to the fact that some people think this is a part-time job. Granted, the pay is predicated on a part-time basis, but if you're not interested in the job for the job's sake, then you shouldn't go for it.
Thanks again for watching, and remember to vote on May the 3rd. For the Loogootee Tribune and the LoogooteeTribune.com, I'm Larry Hembry.